All right, I want to do a quick little video to the lead attorney, man. Brother be going in. Let's jump straight into the clip.
The child is half of yours and half his. Do you think that just automatically, because of these 9 months that you're talking about, that the mother should be given the child and the father should have visitation because of these special 9 months when your body carried the child? You think you should get an advantage because of these 9 months you kept mentioning?
Yes.
You don't have to answer this question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers?
I want the truth.
Well, this one kind of hit home because, like, that's not far away from me. It's like 45 minutes away from me where it happened. And I think, honestly, it is, like, I was thinking it was the law as well, because I remember when I went through my legal situation with my son's father and how hard it was, like, to go through it. We ended up going for like a year and a half, and we started when my son was only 3 weeks old. And it took that long for it to go through the whole cycle. The longer it plays out, the more it strains you. And I feel like some of it may be, like, punishing you in a sense to, like, you know, you should be able to solve it and just come together and then file the paperwork saying, like, oh, this is our agreement, more than, like, letting the courts decide the agreement. I felt like I was being punished in, like, the Montgomery County courts, ultimately.
Why did you feel like you were being punished?
Well, I felt like I was being punished because, like, they scrutinized everything about me. Like, I had my report card because I was, like, fresh out of high school. I had to bring a report card to prove that I was a student. Like, they won't, like, the court ordered me to bring that to prove that I was a good person for my son. I had to,
Wait. You had a child, and was this a divorce?
It wasn't even a divorce. We never lived together. We never.
Okay. You never lived together, and he was fighting for custody.
He was fighting for custody against me.
And you had to bring your report card.
I was ordered to bring my report card because I graduated that June.
But think about what's going on here. Like, honest stuff like this, like, get on my fucking nerves. Think about what's being said. They're talking about the custody of a child, and in the same breath, speaking about report cards. Y'all sound like y'all too young to be doing this shit. This show you right here, our culture's so messed up. And this is why we go through the things that we go through. We don't want to follow no rules, no laws, no commandments, no nothing. You don't get situations like this if you got some type of laws in place that govern your society, that govern your community, that govern your family. This shit don't happen. Think about the mindset of it. Y'all talking about report cards in the custody of a child in the same breath from the parent. This shit sounds stupid.
Because I had given the background story, like, I graduated I went through the whole school system, like, I'm a good person. Me and him just really want, like, we want to have somebody help facilitate visitation. You know, we don't get along, and there's been physical domestic violence situations where he's brought people trying to attack me or, like, show up at my house, different situations of that nature. So they were like, oh, we need proof that you actually went to this school. So I bring my diploma and my report card to prove that it was.
So them asking you to prove that you had graduated, you felt like that was an unfair level of scrutiny?
I felt, because I thought it was unfair level of scrutiny because it was some of the things that happened for me didn't apply to him. Some of the things that I had to provide proof, since I was the primary person who had the child, he didn't have to provide. Like, he didn't have to go back to PG to go get his documents. He didn't have to prove where you lived, your routine, what was the schedule that you had. Like, there was so much things that I had to figure out and do. And I felt like overall, I was punished because I didn't want to settle it with the way they wanted me to with him, with me having every other week with my child, and my child's only 6 weeks old, 7 weeks old.
Okay, so you're saying that the courts wanted you to do like an every other week, so the courts wanted you to do 50-50.
Yeah.
This is crazy as fuck. Think about the mindset that you had to be in to say you felt like you was being punished because they made you prove to a higher extent that you was a better person than the father. but you didn't want the father to have no type of visitation, no type of custody of his child. What the fuck? What planet is this? Real talk. What planet is this? What for you to be saying it and that shit not sound crazy while you saying it and you stop speaking? This the thing that irked me about the black community. We let women get away with shit like this, but then on the back end we talk about how bad black fathers are. Why does he even have to fight for custody of his fucking child? Like, why does he have to fight to try to be in his child's life? I don't understand that shit. And she talking like this shit is not that big of a deal. You are literally fighting for him not to have his kid. What we doing?
Okay, you didn't want to do 50-50. You wanted, okay. And you felt like because the courts wanted 50-50 and you didn't want 50-50, you wanted to with your child, you felt like you were punished.
Yes, I do feel like I was punished overall because it felt like I had to fight harder to prove to like in a sense like disprove what he says about me, but also to push that I'm the best person. And I think that's really hard.
Let me jump in for a second. Why should you not have to prove that you are the best person?
Bingo.
Right? I assume that this is your child. Half of your DNA is in this child, right?
Yes.
But half of his DNA is in this child, right?
Yes.
Half of your chromosomes, half of his chromosomes. Why should you not have to prove that you are the best parent if you want this child to live with you the majority of the time? Why shouldn't you prove that? Why is that not rational?
That's logical.
Say, hey, you need to prove this stuff.
I think it's so rational because for 9 months I was the person that took care of the child. I was, I provided my body for.
Well, see, this is what happens when we let society get away from what's real. You don't have no say-so if you carry a child or not. That's how society works. That's how humans work. No female dog is going to the male dog and saying, well, I carried the babies. Duh, what the fuck? That's how it works. You don't have no choice in that. If you having sex and you allow a man to come in you raw, a baby can come from that. You can't say, oh well, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let the man carry this baby to term. We gonna let you provide your body. What are you talking about? That's not some shit that you can. I'm gonna make up in my mind and say, well, I'm gonna take one for the team and I'm gonna grow the baby in my body. For this one time, the next time you got it. What the fuck we doing? This shit made me mad because I was like, damn, I hate seeing our sisters talk with this stupid shit. This was dumb. This was dumb.
When you say wait, hold on now. When you say the 9 months, are you talking about the 9-month pregnancy when the child was inside of you?
I provided that, like, cause I chose to have this child. I chose to take care of this child. I did not really want to be with this person anymore. I wanted my child. I wanted to move forward with my life.
This is why we went into slavery. This type of mindset is one of the reasons why we went into slavery. God put it in them laws for us, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that if you lay down with a sister, that's your wife. You don't get these stupid ass little conversations. You don't get these stupid ass mindsets if you following that law. Because one, you're going to be a whole lot more selective with your spouse, who you choose to lay down with, before you get into these type of situations. Why would you let this man bust off in you if you didn't want to be with him? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Now you don't like him to the point where you don't even want him to be a dad. What we doing? For real. Our people, we backwards. Why would you imagine that? Imagine if she found out she didn't like dude before she started actually putting her time into dude. That make a lot more sense.
you know, and the fact of the matter is that I took off work to take care of this child, you know, be it going to the doctor's appointments, all the necessary things. The child came out healthy, came out full term, all these things. I did.
That don't have nothing to do with
what I
you.
needed to do. The proof is in the pudding with the child. It isn't like I had a record of, oh, you were a bad person, you had these type of records or anything like that. So I'm saying, like, sometimes it feels like you're always having to fight harder. And then also I think for me in this situation, I feel really bad for the guy because I can only imagine.
Wait.
What? I do. Like,
You feel bad?
No, literally. Can you let me finish? I just want to get.
But you're contradicting yourself, so I just want to make sure that everybody's following what you're talking about.
Okay.
Right? And, you know, because I want to hear what you have to say, but you know, there are 4,000 people in here, so we need to kind of figure out what you're talking about.
Okay.
You're saying, if the child is half of yours and half his, do you think that just automatically, because of these 9 months that you're talking about, that the mother should be given the child and the father should have visitation because of these special 9 months when your body carried the child? You think you should get an advantage because of these 9 months you kept mentioning?
Yes, I do believe that there could be an advantage for that. I do.
He's just bug the fuck out.
Because at the end of the day, if he wanted to be a part of those moments, he could have came to those doctor's appointments just as much as I did. He could have been a part of those things. So I just feel like you can't give me my credit for what I do, you know, when the other person is absent during those time periods. And then when the child's 4 months to jump back in and try and get involved. No, that's not right. It's not fair every day.
Yeah. What ended up happening with your case? Did he end up getting 50-50 or did he end up getting, so you ended up winning, right?
Yeah, I ended up winning.
So you ended up winning by showing your damn report card in your...
It was more things than not.
But
That's
this is...
the first instance, but...
Let me just back up here. Why do you think it is that because mothers' bodies naturally carry children for 9 months, why do you think that because of mothers carrying these children for 9 months, they should automatically be given custody and fathers should automatically be given visitation?
Well, I like I said before, it's about the involvement. If you want to
You said it was about the 9 months.
It's 9 months, but I did say that if he wanted to be involved, he could have went to these appointments. He could have been involved in these things. And also the proof is in the pudding. Like, if I'm a bad person, I don't go to my, you know, and I'm a bad mother, you're not going to go to your doctor's appointments when you're supposed to. You're not going to seek prenatal care. You're not, you know, and then also the child may come out with is that preventable? So, or issues if you're an abusive situation, drugs, alcohol, those things come out in the child. So I feel like if you're able to produce a healthy child, you're able to follow suit and have a record proving that, hey, because there's a chart that you follow. Hey, every 4 weeks, every 3 weeks, every 2 weeks, every week, you're here at the doctor's office.
Oh, her mindset is irking my soul. You know how many women went to every appointment, follow everything to the T, and their child still came out with some type of birth defect. She literally putting emphasis on that, like she literally had a say so in that. Is that what we at today in society? Like, is that what we at? That you think you a good mom because your baby came out with no birth defects? Like, what we doing? So what about the sisters that had miscarriages? Are they bad moms? What we doing? That doesn't make you a great mom. That doesn't make you a good mom. I don't understand how you put that together like that. How did you morph that into what that means? The Most High is not pleased with this. The Most High is not pleased with this. I'm gonna be honest though. For the dude, hey, bro, I would be ear to pocket. Ear to pocket.
Doing what you're supposed to do, eating what you're supposed to eat, like, you know, putting everything forth right for your child, taking these special tests because you have to pay for those. all these different exams and everything out of pocket, and plus having insurance, and plus providing for yourself. And I think that shows that you have stability overall. It's not show because if someone wants to be a part of it, they'll make a way to be a part of it. If they don't want to, then like again, for him, he didn't show up for those appointments when those were provided to him at that point. And then to show up at the end and be like, oh, I'm 50-50. Where were you during that entire time?
Who's beeping is that? Is that you beeping? Is somebody beeping?
I don't know.
Alright, how old were you when you had this child?
I was 18.
I'm done. I'm not watching no more of this shit. She talking like she at the utmost maturity level, like she was 18 years old, bro. 18 years old. We earned that slavery clip, bro. We earned that shit. We in America is continuing to do the same shit that got us in slavery in the first place. We earned that. We earned that. I'm gonna put the link to the rest of the video. Like the lead attorney, I think he ended up going and digging into it pretty good. But you'd be surprised how many sisters had his mindset. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the ones that don't. But it's at too high of a clip. This type of stuff go on in terms of, as a man, if you trying to be a dad, why do you have to fight to be a dad in a community with no fucking dads? It don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me. But it is what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I'm out.